Hello, hello, and welcome to the Season 62 SMJHL Award Show. I am Agent Smith 630, and I am joined by Trashay, and
You got it right this time.
I got it right this time, and our lovely All-Star Committee host and head, Jert, who will be chiming in here and there.
Hey
Um,
guys,
how are you guys doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. I was just thinking about how great the Newfoundland Berserkers are.
Yeah?
I'm doing just dandy as well. And yeah, I was curious what your thoughts were, so thank you for clarifying that point.
Alrighty, well, with no further ado, let's get started. We're gonna, as previous years, we're gonna start out with the regular season team awards. Our four-star cup champions, as Jert said, the wonderful Newfoundland Berserkers, who also took home the King Krzyzewski Gauntlet as Eastern champs. Anchorage Armada taking home the Lina Landvik Trophy as Western champs. And then we actually had a tie for the Lorifer Trophy for the best regular season record. Vancouver and Anchorage both had 96 points, but also had identical win-loss and overtime records. I don't know if there's a tiebreaker outside of that. I guess regular season or just regulation wins.
Yeah, regulation wins versus regulation over.
Which I think Vancouver took that home overall, but I wasn't sure if that was the final tiebreaker or not because they finished with the same amount of points. So
Yeah, which actually, fun fact about that though, this is the first time since we switched to 66 games. So this is our fifth or sixth season. The first time that there hasn't been a team to break 100 points. So It was good for parity this season as well.
That's right. That's right.
I think in case of a tie like that, we should just give that one to Newfoundland as well because they are so great.
They're just that great, huh? Okay, good to know.
You're at 2 so far.
All right. We also have our individual awards. The Jared Hansen, our scoring champ, going to Lev Mcdavid. Lorik from Vancouver had 91 points this season with 41 goals and 50 assists. We had Roberto Martucci Award. Our goal leader also went to Lev Mcdavid with the 41 goals. Our Ronan O'Keefe Award for playoff points champion went to Jeff Larson from the Newfoundland Berserkers with 16 points, had 8 goals and 8 assists. And our Matt Lewis Flood Trophy, which goes to the top team save percentage, went to the Newfoundland Berserkers. That's Jonas Johansson, Kevin Newman, and Marcel's Antelope. I forgot to put in their save percentage here. It was like a 9-2, 9-1-7, something like that.
You get people getting almost 100 points in 66 games, just leave the 0. This is scoring was up. It's a great time to be a skater this season.
Well, let's see. We had it in here. I just forgot to put it in. They had a 9-2 or a 9-1-7 save percentage. They only beat out the Nevada Battleborn by 0.06 or 0.0006. Sorry.
Oh, 3 zeros. Damn.
4 zeros actually. So it was very close. Very close. Yeah. It came down to rounding. Really, that's all it was. Yeah. So, yeah. Congrats to the Newfoundland Berserkers.
Sorry.
Oh, go for it.
I love the mention of Marcel's Antelope, who played a total of 58 minutes.
Hey, he was part of it, I guess, and they were.
He was part of that great team.
That's right.
The Newfoundland Berserkers.
That's right.
He deserves recognition for that.
Backups get championship rings as well. Even the backup's backup in this case.
That's
right.
Or
the backup to the backup's backup, depending how deep you want to go into this.
That's right. All right, and we'll move into our first award for the Alex Light Trophy, which is our most improved player. We have our 3 nominees: Tanner Fox from the Carolina Kraken, Willie Miller from Nevada, and Alexander Mckenzie from Newfoundland. What do you guys have to say about this?
I like Willie Miller. Personally, it's one of those things you don't necessarily always see a goalie in this category, so I enjoy it as well. But also, I mean, to what you talking about, 59 games played, was the clear starter in Nevada, and I mean, like as we just talked, rounding error for Nevada to beat out Newfoundland for best team save percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they finished 6 places lower in the standings. So I know this isn't like a most important. This is truly just like improvement player, but like Willie Miller was an incredibly important piece and stepped up this season and did his level best. And yeah, I mean it showed. 6 shutouts. I got to give it to him.
Yeah. And you gotta shout out to Mckenzie as well, who went from 18 points to 59 points this year. Had a huge increase in takeaways, from 8 to 33 this year, and just all with just over 4.5 minutes, or just under 4.5 minutes increase time on ice. So a huge improvement from him. And then Tanner Fox also had just under 4.5 minutes of increase. Went from 29 points to 62 points. The increase for Tanner really came in his assist category. I went from 18 to 43 this season. So all these guys I think really deserve it, and I'm my special shout out to Willie Miller for being a goalie. You know, it's rare that you see a goalie improve season to season enough to make that kind of impression.
Well, especially when Willie isn't a first-year starter.
Right.
I mean, that's one of those things. And still, dropped his goals against by almost 1.5. Like,
right.
It's just...
So I have to say, how much of that is the team in front of him improving? I know that Nevada has turned into a team that's become a true contender, I think, especially in the coming season or two. How much is Willie's improvement, the team in front of him getting that much better?
I mean, maybe this season, Willie will absolutely kick it into another gear. But like looking at the last 2 seasons where Willie's been the starter, I mean, I guess Nevada went from 11th to 9th in the league, but like they didn't have a massive jump in the standings.
Right.
So I don't think, we've necessarily seen all, like there is absolutely, as you were saying, some promise for Nevada this season with their skating core, but I don't think it was realized this past season when Willie just stepped up to the plate and was like, nah, we're going to steal some games.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Who do you think takes this one home?
I'm sticking with Willie.
You think it's Willie?
I'm thinking it's Willie.
Well, I like your confidence, but Mckenzie's the one taking it home. Congratulations, Alexander Mckenzie, for taking home the Alex Light Trophy for the most improved player this season.
Damn, well deserved.
Yeah.
Paul, what are your thoughts on Alexander Mckenzie and just kind of Newfoundland as a whole? Oh, I teed him up and everything for him.
Oh. Can't.
What?
We teed you up for another one, and you dropped the ball.
Oh shit! I completely missed it, because that's because I'm not a great guy like the guys in Newfoundland. These are greats.
That's so true.
They won't miss a single one.
That's right. That's right. All right, on to our next one. Zach Miller for most dedicated player. Now this is a user award. So their players are listed here, but this is definitely one for the user. We have our 3 nominees being Mikko Rashford from the Newfoundland Berserkers, Brick Wall from Great Falls, and Hans Groff, Drokeep from the Colorado Raptors. All 3 of these guys have really stepped up in the past season to make their presence known. Drokeep took over as awards head and has been super active on site. Brickwall has stepped in as he went from J intern last season to now part of the JHO. He's been all over the site, one of the easiest guys to get along with. And Rashford is another guy that's just super fun to talk to. Is always around. Has really made his presence known and become one of those truly dedicated people.
Yeah, and so looking at these three, I mean, obviously Rashford gets a ton of points for being in the stream, talking on chat. I mean,
That's right.
I think that alone deserves the award right there. But also, I mean, exactly to what you were saying is all three of these guys, particularly on the streams, like being in Kelowna, I haven't had the pleasure of kind of having a whole ton of interaction with the guys, but they've all been absolutely awesome. Like I know I've personally seen them all over the place. Oh, now Brickwall is going to talk.
Of course.
I just just trying to get those last minute points.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all three of them have been absolutely awesome, contributing, very visual, very much seen throughout the community. Yeah, and I think they're all deserving. I'm gonna stick with Rashford though, because Rashford said the most in chat, and I just can't support HO now that I'm a head GM.
That's totally fair. Totally fair. All right. Well, our winner of the Zach Miller Trophy for most dedicated player is Rashford. Congratulations, another Newfoundland Berserker coming right at you. Jert, what do you have to say about this one?
I mean, this is almost too easy, but I cannot give enough good comments about the Berserkers to come close to what I feel about Rashford in Finland. So I'm going to focus on that. I think he's been doing the same for Newfoundland as he's been doing for us in Finland, just grabbing everyone that comes into the website and be their friends. He's there for sure. Not to take anything away from Drokeep and Brickwall, who are also very, very active users. But Rashford, as any member of the Newfoundland Berserkers, he's great.
That's right. That's right. Congratulations to Rashford. You even have the shout out from the SMJHL HO account in the chat. Look at that. All right. We'll move on to our next one.
HO bad.
HO bad. We have our Nor Harak Award for Best GM Duo. We have Dextaria and Stevo is Cool from Vancouver, Seven and Candidace from Carolina, and Namlet and BDU from Newfoundland. All three of these teams. I mean, you just had Vancouver be top of the league. You have Newfoundland who won the cup, and then you have Seven and Candidace who are known for having just one of the best locker rooms, just some of the best guys to talk to and get involved in the league. And you have Seven running Hockey Talk, and Candidace is on the developmental side of the league, and so really guys that are super into it and put everything heart and soul into the league. So great representatives here.
Yeah, and then kind of looking at this group, I mean, Vancouver and Newfoundland for the past, this award's supposed to look at the past 3 seasons, kind of body of work. They've both been top 3 teams in the standings, like, each of the past 3 seasons. Vancouver actually has been top 2 for the past 3 seasons, finishing with obviously not postseason. But yeah, and then Carolina. I mean, they're known for just being an absolutely awesome locker room. They were actually it was more than 3 seasons ago, but way back in season 55 when I joined, they were a team that I thought I wanted to go to, just from the scouting stuff.
Yeah,
and they've obviously continued to have an absolutely awesome culture in the locker room. And so, kind of with all that, I think it's got to go to Newfoundland. Just with the more recent championship, obviously, Vancouver
Yeah.
won one not too long ago.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, in my opinion, and I guess you can really go back through the VODs and decide for yourself. This has felt like Newfoundland's award for the past few seasons. Like it's hard for me to remember the last time somebody else won this award, and I don't know how to feel about that. But I definitely think all three pairs here are very much deserving. But you're gonna stick with Newfoundland?
yeah, just kind of weighing their word a bit more heavily on FHM success than necessarily some of the other stuff. Because yeah, Carolina's been awesome. They actually swept us this the past season in the playoffs. So shout out to them.
Yep. And it looks like the chat is chanting for a ham tattoo. I'm guessing Namlet's supposed to get a Newfoundland tattoo. Is that what this is, or what's going on here, chat? Oh boy. All right.
I'm not sure what's going on, but we can see how great and dedicated the people in Newfoundland are. So
they're all over the chat.
They're all in there.
That's right. They are all in the chat. The winners of the Harak Award for the best GM duo this season are Dextaria and Stevo is Cool. Congratulations to the Vancouver GMs. Very well deserved. Great season this season. Way to stay in that top two. In the past few seasons. So, very, very well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I will say, in addition to that, they have won championship past 3 seasons. They've also made it at least to the semifinals. Like they also have postseason success.
Yeah.
I want to mention that as well. So yeah, well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Our Brandon Holmes trophy for top defensive forward. You want to go through our nominees here?
Yeah. So I guess starting. Wait. Oh, never mind. I thought we had Carolina, Vancouver, and Newfoundland again. I've had a couple beers. I apologize.
Not quite.
But yeah, all three of these guys absolutely stick out. With at least 62 block shots. They're all doing really well in the giveaway to takeaway situation. I've talked about that. Feel like ad nauseum every time we've hosted.
Yeah.
And all three of these guys are on the right side of that ratio.
Yeah. Especially, I really got to shout out Tanner Fox. His almost 2.0 giveaway takeaway ratio is pretty insane.
Yeah, and absolutely. Yeah, and then they've all to quote James Harrison, the best ability is availability, and all three of these guys. Gordy Goodenough had 32 penalty minutes in 66 games. That essentially is nothing.
Yeah.
So they all, every single one of them, on the defensive side, kept the puck, helped with possession, and also were on the ice when their team needed them.
Yeah.
Oh, go
ahead.
I was just saying, so kind of looking at this with these guys, I'm gonna go Tanner Fox with it, even though on the hits and the blocked shots didn't necessarily produce as much as the other guys with more ice time, which is notable.
Yeah. You do have to shout out his assist number though. His 43 assists as a defensive forward is incredibly impressive. And still racking up, over 200 shots, while still being, defensively minded is pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a two-way player, plain and simple.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, and yeah. So it's but yeah, I'm beating my takeaway to giveaway ratio drum of almost 2 to 1. Gotta give it. I'm going Tanner Fox on this one.
Going Tanner Fox. Well, let's see if you're right. The Brandon Holmes Trophy winner for top defensive forward this season is Mikhail Novikov from Anchorage. Congratulations. Just an incredible season from Novikov. 95 hits and 88 shot blocks from a forward is pretty astounding.
Yeah, and so that was the me overvaluing the giveaway to takeaway but yeah, well done, absolutely deserved, and the next season let's get 100 hits.
That's right.
Oh God, I hope I didn't bring my curse to my own players. My curse of never winning the Brennan Holmes.
How could you? It's all your fault.
Congrats to Novikov.
Yeah. It's too bad he's not from Anchorage. I've heard some interesting things about those guys.
From Newfoundland, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are great.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh, I definitely think I know so.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Good to know. All right.
By my count, you're like 7.
Yes, I think that's right. All right. We'll move on to our Alexis Metzler Trophy for Best Defensive Defenseman, an award that's near and dear to my heart. We have Merlin Metzler from Newfoundland, Mikko Rashford from Newfoundland, and Jay O'Neill from Newfoundland.
Boy, do I have something to say about that.
I have a feeling that someone from Newfoundland is going to win this award.
You think so?
I do think so.
I mean, obviously all 3 of these guys are Newfoundland players, and they're absolute studs, and part of the reason Newfoundland, I think they only lost 1 game on their way to win the Cup. To Carolina, so, it's reasonable that Kelowna was swept by Carolina, because they still beat Newfoundland in the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm kind of with Rashford on this one. I'm not sure. These are not. We're not looking at advanced stats here, and the committee looks at all the stats, advanced stats, all that stuff. But from these numbers, I really don't see a defensive defenseman. His giveaway takeaway ratio is mediocre. He only has 10 blocked shots and 62 hits. Like, this just doesn't feel like, and I'm sorry, Rash, I know you're in the chat, but I'm kind of with you on this one. It just doesn't feel right to have him here.
Yeah, I mean, that is, if you're not getting in the way of shots, as a defensive forward can get away with not having a whole ton of shot blocks, but as a defenseman, that's a lot of the point, if you will. Especially with by almost a minute more ice time than any of his contemporaries here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm with you there, and then talking about, I guess we're nitpicking here at this point because obviously all 3 of these guys were championship caliber defensemen, but Jay O'Neill with the 67 giveaways and the 39 takeaways, he had the shot blocks and the hits, but the turnovers
are brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could add the other 2 guys' turnovers together and not get 67.
Yeah. Yeah, and with Metzler really the only one having a positive giveaway takeaway ratio, it feels like he should be the clear winner here, even with fewer hits and fewer shot blocks than O'Neill. But what does the committee take into account? I have a feeling that we're gonna get surprised here.
I could see that. Because Jay O'Neill absolutely has the volume. Of stat, I mean, basically what we're looking at, and also, I mean, honestly, some of my digging around the advanced stats ahead of this. But yeah, I like Merlin Metzler for this award.
I'm with you. Out of these 3 nominees, I'm with you. I think Merlin Metzler should take home the Alexis Metzler Trophy. The actual winner is Jay O'Neill. Congratulations on your Alexis Metzler Trophy. Your season was well worth it in the eyes of the awards committee. I'm not slighting your season in the slightest, but I hope they saw something in the advanced stats that really proved it to them.
Yeah, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but all 3 of these guys had actually honestly pretty stellar advanced stats.
Yep.
But yeah, like it. I think also something we didn't talk about is like the plus minus being a plus 47. You know, people say it's a garbage stat if it's bad. It's an important stat if it's good.
Right.
But I think it, like, especially for a defensive defenseman award, that to me says he did stop the opposing team from scoring and his forwards got the job done.
That's true.
Even though, looking at the giveaway takeaway, the possession numbers, not ideal, but I mean, still well deserved.
Yep.
But
well, and he did have over 100 hits and almost 100 shot blocks. So it's still a decent season, by any metric. So.
Yeah, I mean it's almost like a Trayvon Diggs, where he has 11 interceptions in the NFL this season, but also has given up almost as many touchdowns.
Right.
There's some absolutely stellar defensive numbers, but it goes both ways. But
yeah. All right. Well, congratulations once again to Jay O'Neill, winning the Alexis Metzler this season. We'll move on.
And I think I'm not even gonna comment on that one because it's too easy for me.
It's too easy to have the three
also,
noms all
honestly
from.
would sound a bit sarcastic with the way this discussion is headed. So.
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. The best overall defenseman has none of the same players.
None of the
defensive.
That's right. We have Landon Fisherman from Vancouver, Vadim Askarov from Great Falls, and Vincent Fox from Carolina. What stands out to you here?
I mean, we were just talking about the plus minus. Landon Fisherman with the plus 40 is awesome, and also with like the most ice time of these guys, and not, I guess Askarov has a dozen more shot blocks, but still hits and shot blocks is actually showing up.
Yeah.
But then also, in this award, for this one, you got to look at both sides of the ice. 12 points on special teams.
Yeah,
absolutely awesome.
Incredible as a defenseman.
Yeah, and then also, more points. He was almost a point per game player with 57 and 66 games.
Yep.
As well. I mean, the other guys. Actually, Vincent Fox is doing my quick math. Also at 57.
Also at 57, and had more power play points.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, all these. Yeah, and Askarov's also almost got 50 points. Like these guys were all awesome offensively, and defensively, clearly, because they were relied on heavily.
Yeah.
With a minimum 20 and a half minutes looking at this ice time.
Yeah. These guys were all top pairing, all very key parts of their offense. I mean, with the fewest being 37 assists, these guys were absolutely necessary on their offensive.
They might. Yeah, I mean, might not have been the central piece of the offense, but think their offense scoring wasn't happening without these guys.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And they were still able to put up, decent defensive numbers. You have at minimum 64 shot blocks. You had 78 from Askarov. His hit numbers were kind of low, but he's still able to have a positive giveaway takeaway ratio. Where the other two guys weren't able to say that. Fisherman was even, but still, this is a tough one. I'm not sure who's going to take it home. What do you think?
I'm going Landon Fisherman.
Yeah.
Just with the slight edge, having 2 more goals. Because assists are great, but pucks in net is what really matters.
True.
Defensively, I kind of put these all 3 of these guys at similar enough that it almost doesn't matter on the defensive side. So look at the offensive numbers. I'm gonna take 2 extra goals and give it to Fisherman.
I think that's totally fair. The winner of the Kila Agante Trophy for Best Defenseman this season goes to Landon Fisherman from the Vancouver Whalers. Congratulations.
Okay, one of these times, I think I might even get more than half of mine right. Not this time. I've been so bad. I think this is only my second so far.
Yeah. Well, it's tough. Some of these nominations have been interesting to say the least. So we'll move on. Our Cedric Robinson Trophy for the best goalie. We've got three incredible goalies here. We've got Dominic Tretiak from Anchorage, Willie Miller from Nevada, and Jonas Johansson from Newfoundland. What do you think about these guys?
I love all of them. I mean, I would also personally, I would have put Lord Skrolk up here from Kelowna, but that's a bit of a homer bias, I'll admit.
What? No.
Right? Who would have thought?
Yeah.
I mean, like, things that stick out. I guess Willie Miller's save percentage. We already talked about that earlier. Absolutely sticks out. Jonas Johansson had more shutouts than any of the other guys.
Yep. But he also faced I mean, if you look at his shots against, he had 700 less shots against than Willie Miller.
Yeah, I mean, he still had a full half. Like, he's the only got one of these three under 2 goals allowed against.
That's true. That is true. He also played 10 less games than Willie Miller. So
yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, like it's and I mean, 10 less games doesn't equal 700 shots. So it also means just overall, Newfoundland did a great job of shot suppression in front of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess for Dominic, what sticks out to me is he's the only one of these guys hit 40 wins.
Yeah, which is incredibly impressive. Anchorage had an incredible season, and Tretiak was a huge part of that. 40 wins in a 66 game season is incredible. So, who do you think takes this one home?
Even with 10 fewer games, I'm going to go with Jonas Johansson. Also, if it's Jonas Johansson. Yeah, like if I'm pronouncing that wrong in your chat, please let me know. But yeah, I'm going that because I mean, yes, fewer shots, but like a half a goal fewer per game.
Yeah,
and more shutouts and fewer opportunities. And a comparable, say, 918 versus 920.
It's pretty freaking close.
Yeah, so yeah. I got to go with him.
Yep. Okay. Well, the winner of the Cedric Robinson Trophy for best goalie this season is Willie Miller from Nevada. Congratulations, Willie. You had an incredible season. I know for a fact that a lot of teams were terrified to go up against you because you just proved them incapable of scoring against you. So, huge season from Miller. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, and well deserved. I mean, I like this, especially in the storyline of being up for 2 awards so far and not getting shut out himself, if you will.
That's true. True.
And it's even more impressive that he managed to beat the goalie from Newfoundland, who's obviously, as everyone in Newfoundland, very great.
It's true. That's very true. All right. We'll move on to our next award. The Vyacheslav Onoprienko Trophy for Most Underrated Player. I took out the stats this season because most of these are user-based. And so it may be underrated player, but it feels like the GMs have turned this into an underrated user, which I'm totally okay with, and I think is absolutely how it should be. So we have our 3 nominees this season are Shoyo Hinata, Formula 1, Valters Denisova, which is Vico 3, and Brick Wall, which plays for Great Falls but was nominated by Nevada. That shows you what kind of impression he makes. We will pull up the...
And so, I guess looking at these guys, one thing I'd also say, this is, GMs submit nominations for this award.
Yeah.
Much more than 3 nominations were sent in. Like, this is trying to find that like 0.1% that differentiates the best of the best from each other.
Yep.
So, for anyone that was nominated, y'all are all absolutely awesome. Your GMs. Yeah.
We had 7 nominations this year. Which was down from last year, but still, it's a decent number.
I think some of that is, the holidays in the U.S. and then Christmas happening. Just IRL happens. I know in Kelowna that was kind of one of the things. We had a GM change and Christmas happened. Like it was a whole bunch of stuff going on. But yeah, I mean, starting with Shoyo Inada. Just as a nomination from Jumbo, who is my teammate in Baltimore. Absolutely awesome, Jumbo Raiden. Y'all should all want him on your fantasy team this season. But here's the nomination that he wrote up. The Colorado Ononam is Formule Un, a.k.a. Gordon Bombay, a.k.a. Shoyo Inada. First, Shoyo was a third-round pick in the S61 SMJHL draft, an absolute steal for us. He came in as a rookie and made an immediate impact in the locker room. Highly active in Discord, he posted screenshots for game recaps, and he started making graphics and SIGs for players and every graphics tournament. His player, Shoyo Inada, scored 16 goals in season 61, which is the most for a rookie in Colorado history. It's a shame that it was overlooked and didn't receive a single vote for Rookie of the Year. He applied to be a World Junior Cup GM and got the job for Team World, helping lead World to a 9-3-0 record, which was third in the WJC round robin. So going into season 62, we in Colorado felt really good about having Formule Un on our team, but we didn't know that he was going to take it to a whole other level. Given that he is highly active in the graphics, he was hired as a graphics assistant given his great work there. Formule Un also has become a sim tester in Colorado. He learned some programming that we utilize now. It quickly analyzes our test sims thoroughly and is able to give us data to look at on a larger scale. He has been a key role for us in Colorado this season in testing. He has been selected for season 62 WJC GM again to run Team World. It is truly unbelievable what he has done and accomplished in only 2 seasons. I definitely don't think he gets enough credit for all of his hard work and dedication. I'm proud and honored to have him in Colorado.
Yeah, what a great write-up from Jumbo about Formula Un.
Yeah.
And then we have
I'm gonna cut you right there because it's Formule 1.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Formula 1. Okay.
There you go.
I'm gonna use the French card here.
please do.
Also, since I'm here, I'm gonna remember everyone that the Newfoundland Berserkers are great.
All right. Well, we'll talk about the Newfoundland Berserkers nomination next. Namlet wrote about Vico 3. He said, every season, Newfoundland always finds themselves blessed with a variety of people who still continue to invest their time and energy into the site and the team. Vic, with a C, has been the epitome of someone like that, where they've quietly risen from a recreate-heavy class to being 4th in TPE and the highest among any first-gen users. They've grabbed onto the league since being drafted and haven't let go, being the first to volunteer to post box scores, constantly keeping up with the rookie scoring race, and embracing his rare role of a defensively responsible center. It's rare you see a period in the day that Vic hasn't come around even with school on his plate. Yet they still continue to earn, contributing to media, and engage and challenge the rest of the Berserkers. Just a really nice write-up from Namlet. And then we also have the write-up from Elias about Brick Wall. He said, Brick Wall is Nevada's pick. He's freaking everywhere. WJC, JHO, and he's always looking to improve, always wanting to learn, always in the sim chat, and is always down to have friendly banter, which is why Jess and I are picking someone outside our team. But as someone who's been in the British Isles locker room with him for 2 seasons now, he's a great person, a positive personality, and always strives to do their best. He craves to learn, and I love it. Being a new user and making such a big splash the first 2 seasons should be recognized before he's here too long. Jess says this. I second the part about how he's really good at the balance between team spirit and also just being an all-around community guy. Very good at being at the friendly banter thing where it's all fun and competitive, but nobody ever feels bad or gets hurt. So just really shows you what kind of person Brickwall has been to get a nom from outside his team, which you really don't ever see that. So
both multiple people from that team chime in.
Yep.
When even nominating normal nominations, sure you talk about it, kind of in the war room and front office and figure out who you want, but not everyone contributes to the write-up. And I think that's also notable as well. Hearing those, all 3 of them are awesome. I'm going to go Brick Wall because it's just multiple layers of really exceptional nomination.
Yeah.
Coming from another team and then having both GMs from that team say, hey, this guy deserves it, even though he's not one of ours.
Right. Yeah, and not winning this award is not saying that you didn't deserve it. I mean, we had 7 nominations, and the top 3 here are who you see as our top noms. So every single one of the users who was even nominated deserves this award. That you've made that impact in your locker room to be nominated by your GM or by in Brickwall's case by another GM. So without further ado, the Onoprenko Trophy for Most Underrated Player goes to Shoyo Hinata from the Colorado Raptors. Congratulations to you. Your work in that locker room has made such an impact that you are the winner this season. Congratulations.
Yeah, and I mean, very well. Like this is it's just 7 nominations, every one of them better than the last. This is this is an award every season I do not envy having to choose.
Yeah, no, this is such a tough one to pick from. Just because it just feels like every single one of them deserves to win. So, huge shout out to Shoyo.
Yep, congratulations, absolutely.
All right. And now we come to Jert's all rookie team.
Yes, that is me. So did you have a? Oh yeah, I'm following the stream on YouTube, so there's a bit of a delay.
A little bit of a delay.
So there you have them. The forwards, Chris Maxwell Jr. I'm gonna go with that pronunciation from the Kelowna Knights.
Yeah.
Walter Denisova from the great Newfoundland Berserkers, and Tim Riggins from the Kelowna Knights again. So great draft on the forward side for them. Defenseman Randall Thor, which I think is not pronounced like that.
It is Randall Thor.
All right. Because people were mad when we did the.
Well, it's because 7 is only ever going to pronounce it wrong. Because that's just who he is. So.
So another from the ever great Newfoundland Berserkers, who managed to get 2 rookies on there. My own Sam Emerson from the Regina Elk, who's had a rough season being on the first pairing as a rookie on that, still in the expansion, getting out of the expansion phase team. But he did great. He managed to get 30 points.
Not too shabby.
And for the goalies, the poor Everett Jensen, who was had the rough task to be in net for 58 games for the Detroit Falcons, faced over 3,000 shots.
Yeah. Detroit, if you didn't know, rebuild season for them. So not a great season for them, and Johansson got the ass end of that. Bad season. So.
Yeah, it was actually over 3,000 minutes played, but still over 2,500 shots.
That's a lot of shots.
That's a lot of rubber headed his way, and he still managed to keep a save percentage over 0.9, despite allowing over 4 goals, 4.4 basically goal against average. So that was a rough one. But the future in Detroit, in net at least, should be secure with Jensen.
Yep. What a great rookie team, and all 6 of these players really stood out in their own way. So congratulations to them.
Yeah, I gotta shout out my Knights. It's McZarl and I'll say Mckenzie and Jay Hawk. It's been awesome having them both in the locker room. absolute studs, both in terms of locker room activity and then also, this is much more for their on the ice contributions. But excited to have them, and just thank you guys for being awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to the all-rookie team. We'll move on to the Asa and Rickenin trophy for top rookie. Only Mckenzie here from that previous list.
I don't want to talk about it.
We have Valters Denisova from Newfoundland, Chris Maxwell Jr. from Kelowna, and Brent Ash II from Great Falls. How do we feel about only Mckenzie being on this list from the all rookie team?
I'm not a fan. If you want to look at offensive production, Tim Riggins had 34 points and more goals than any of these guys. And before I go too far down the tangent, I'm going to stop myself there before. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts, guys.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Well, these guys were nominated for a reason, so let's focus on them. Mckenzie, being that presence from the all rookie team, 42 hits. His giveaway taker ratio looks a little rough, but second highest time on ice from this list. Brent Ash actually playing what looks like first line minutes. That plus minus hurts a little bit when you look at it, but Great Falls in itself had a little bit of a rough season. So it's hard to take that into account. But
and so one thing Brent Ash was a defenseman, not a forward.
Oh, well, there you go.
But also, that adds credence to go. Yeah, that is half a point per game as a rookie defenseman.
Yeah, pretty good.
Hell yeah, yeah. That's an awesome rookie season. Rookies are going to get exposed in possessions, so this is one award where I'm going to throw out the giveaways and takeaways.
Yeah.
The Denisova was still positive in that regard, so absolutely phenomenal
very
job.
Impressive. Yep. And to have 144 shots and to have, the 37 points in under 15 minutes a night.
Yep.
Pretty impressive from him.
Yeah, and then Brent is the only one of these guys with any power or any power play production.
Yep.
So yeah, three awesome guys all around. I would have loved to also see Tim Riggins up in here.
Yep.
But I'm gonna let that one lie. But I'm going with the homer on Chris Maxwell.
Going Mckenzie. All right.
I'm going Mckenzie.
All right. Let's see. Taking home the Asa and Rickenin trophy for top rookie this season is Chris Maxwell Jr. from Kelowna. Congratulations.
Oh yeah, censorship.
All right. We'll move on to our SMJHL All-Stars second team. Jert, would you like to introduce the second team?
Yes, that's why I'm here.
Really? I thought it was just to talk about Newfoundland.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
So the second All-Star team, well, there's one player from the Berserkers on there. So I'll start with the defenseman for that one. It's Jay O'Neill, Newfoundland Berserkers. Such a great team, the Berserkers. I'll say again. I'll have to explain at some point why. Probably at the end of the stream, because people must be wondering what the hell is wrong with me.
Leave it a mystery.
And the other defenseman, Cup Noodle. So O'Neill, we've talked about him earlier with the Metzler trophy. Cup Noodle, that's 48 points as a defenseman for Anchorage. 9 goals and 39 assists, all with very good ice time, 23 minutes of ice time on average.
Pretty good.
Positive giveaway takeaway ratio. So Cup Noodle in net on the second All-Star team, Willie Miller So you see a little bit of a difference in opinions there between the two committees, but that's why we have both, and we don't necessarily look always at the same things the same way.
True.
So Willie Miller, second All-Star team, and the forwards Rinky McDango from the Colorado Raptors, Konstantin Solik from the Citadels, and Miles O'Brien from the Timber. That's respectively 70, 68. Both were so close. And O'Brien with 55 points, but on the Timber, which he had a lot less support there to produce offensively
Yeah.
compared to Colorado and Quebec. So there you have it, the second SMJHL All-Star team.
There you go. Congratulations to these players. Well deserved. Move on to our Raymond Lindsay, which is our most outstanding player as voted on by the league. We have our three nominees this season are Spack Jero from Anchorage, Gonzo Gobbledygook from Colorado, and Lev Lebedev from Vancouver. All three of these guys had just some incredible seasons. All of them playing first line minutes, scoring first line points. Lev being our goals and points leader. It's gonna be tough for these guys to compete. The other two nominees to compete against Lev's offensive production, but they're here for a reason. So, what do you have
we're
to say?
just gonna. We got to call Lev. It's gonna be Lev McDavid, not Lebedev.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I mean, just 91 points is absurd.
It's
just
insane.
absolutely, truly, in every way imaginable, absurd in a 66-game season, especially at the SMJHL level where builds are capped. You're not potentially. This isn't potentially a 2,000 TPE player getting lucky with a whole bunch of shifts against like an 800 TPE player. No,
Right.
These are like Lev did this against very much his peers.
Right. I do have to mention as Burbine said in the chat, he had 83 giveaways to only 21 takeaways.
Yeah, but
I think that's really going to be his. Right. This award really comes down to people going in and looking at the index and who led in points or who led in goals and voting based on that. And so,
yeah, and
Gobbledygook and Jero had great seasons, but you're going against the masses here, so.
Yeah, and also, Lev had 91 points. Gobbledygook was second in the league with 74.
Yeah.
Lev led the league by 25 points.
Yeah, just an insane season.
You can forgive a lot defensively for that, and also, it's the people voting are just going to look at that absurd, ridiculous, wild point total.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Lev.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, you have an NHL player lead the league in that by that many points in a season, and they're winning how many awards? It's just an insane season from Lev. So.
It's Lev, and also, I mean, Lev deserves the straight up MVP.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he has one of the best cases in the league for it. So yeah, we'll see. All right, so you're going with Lev here?
I am.
All right, congratulations to Lev Lebedev for winning the Raymond Lindsay Trophy for most outstanding player as voted by the league. Congratulations. Not all that surprising, but well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. I've said my piece. Well deserved. Absolutely.
That's right. All right. We'll move on to the Elias Armia Award. This is the Commissioner's Award of Excellence. This is where the SMJHL Commissioner Batwolf comes in and looks at all the users in the league and picks out three that really stand out to her. Who are the users that really make an impact? Her three nominations this season are Askelfisk from Quebec City, Rashford Miko Rashford from Newfoundland, and High Stick King, which is Spack Jarrow from Anchorage Armada. And I will read through her write-up right now. She says, the SMJHL is not only the starting league for all newcomers, but one to showcase the talent available from every user. However, some of these individuals shine more than others, all with the same shared theme, their commitment and dedication to their teams and to the process. These users, who did their best to give their team a fighting chance, went above and beyond the expectations given to them. All deserve some medal. Listed below are the nominees for the awards. Some might notice that these are the same 3 as last season. Been blown away with these few users, and they all deserve high praise again this season. High Stick King has become such a locker room staple with the Anchorage Armada. This marks his 2nd season that he served as captain, which is high honor for a young player. Amazing locker room personalities are such a key factor in making this league amazing. This user has a very bright future. We've got Mur, or Hannah as some know her, is one of the sweetest users I've ever met. She's always boosting morale in Quebec and in the Season 62 server. Her league awareness is phenomenal, with knowing users and players. No matter the user, she always has kind words of encouragement. She has grown this last season in Quebec City and even found herself in some management positions. What an amazing user. And last but not least is Rashford. Rashford is one of those users that's always available. I can always go to him with questions, and he always has suggestions or ideas for the betterment of the league. You can feel the pure joy and excitement when you talk to him. With his 2nd season in Newfoundland, the locker room has nothing but high praise about their teammate and the dedication he puts into the team on a daily basis. Although only one can claim the Elias Armia award, all 3 nominees deserve it in their own right. We hope they can continue to be paragons of dedication to the league and make others believe that they too can win the silverware if they try hard enough. No matter what happens in the future, whether it be an illustrious career in the SHL or they decide to stay in the J, we will be excited to watch them continue to grow. And with that, I proudly present the Season 62 Commissioner's Award of Excellence to Rashford U. Congratulations on your success from Bad Wolf. What an excellent write-up from Bad Wolf, and very, very much well-deserved for Rashford.
Yeah, massive congratulations. And well-deserved. I mean, you're in chat, so that was what put it over the edge here, obviously.
Obviously.
These weren't decided ahead of time. We're making this up as we go along.
Yeah, you know.
But yeah, congratulations, Rashford. Lapois, do you have anything to say here?
No, I'm gonna keep it for the end of the stream.
All right.
All right, fair enough.
All right.
I burnt myself out too fast.
Well, don't go anywhere because now we're on to the All-Stars first team. You're up again.
I'm gonna start with goalies this time because I started with forwards in the all-rookie and defensemen. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So the goalie for the first SMJHL All-Star team is Jonas Johansson from the Newfoundland Berserkers. We talked about him earlier when we talked about the Cedric Robinson Trophy. Same thing goes for the forwards Lev Mcdavid, Gonzo Gobbledygook from the Raptors, Emeril. I'm not sure if it's Lagasse or Lagasse, but that guy from again the Newfoundland Berserkers, and for the defenseman, Landon Fisherman, who we are very excited to have in Seattle in the next few seasons, and Vincent Fox from the Carolina Kraken. I believe we talked about those 2 earlier as well.
Yep.
So I don't want to take up too much of your time for that. But congratulations to all of these All-Star first team. So really the best at every position according to the All-Star team.
That's right. And just a reminder that the All-Star Committee and the Awards Committee are 2 separate bodies, which is why you have Miller winning Best Goalie, but only on the second team for All Stars. So that's why
and that's
there's a
pretty
difference
much
here.
why I'm here. Normally, that's the only reason I'm here. Today, there's kind of another one for me, but normally I'm only here to mostly announce the All Star and All Rookie teams
Yep,
as head of the All Star committee. So we kind of try to have that clear distinction between the two.
that's right. That's right. Well, congratulations to all these players. Truly the All Stars of the J. And we'll move on to the Brody Witzel Trophy, our playoffs MVP. We have a new name here. We've got Cup Noodle from Anchorage. Oh no, he's not new. We had him in an earlier award. That's right.
Yep.
It was on the second All Star team.
That's right. That's right. He's from Anchorage. We had Alexander Mckenzie from Newfoundland, and Jonas Johansson from Newfoundland, their goalie, that really stood on his head all playoffs with a almost a 9.3 save percentage. Just
I mean,
absolutely insane.
that is a whole separate level of play. Absolutely absurd. Also, like, I mean, just Newfoundland defensively is really where they were strongest. We saw they had all three of the best defensive defenseman awards, but also two of the playoff MVPs, one of which is a defenseman.
Right. Yeah.
And their goalie, like true testament to how good they were at keeping the puck out of their net.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go Jonas Johansson on this one.
I think that makes sense.
The 929's absurd. Lost one game in the entire playoffs. Pitched multiple shutouts in 13 games.
Yeah, just he had an absolutely insane run to the end of the cup, and it's just, with how good Newfoundland was defensively, Johansson's still shown in his own right, which is just it's the true testament to how good he was.
Yeah, but like I also do want to take a moment to talk about our skater, because both of them were at least a point per game.
Yeah.
As defensemen, like these are not forwards that we're seeing this.
Right.
Mckenzie definitely obviously saw a reduced role with the 15 minutes. But yeah, I mean, Cup Noodle, 23 and a half minutes a game.
Yeah, just
like,
absolutely insane.
Your team needs you.
Yeah.
Point blank. That's it.
Yep.
Point per game, also contribute on the power play. That's an incredible postseason by Cup Noodle. I'm gonna go with Johansson as just being on the cup winning team. This is one of the awards almost always goes to the cup winner.
Yep. And it's hard to argue. I mean, even with Mckenzie having great stats, that Johansson doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, the big knock for me on Mckenzie is a defenseman getting 15 and a half minutes.
Yeah. Although Rashford's in the chat saying that he's a forward.
Forward? Oh, I'm awkward. I can read. No, you're right.
Even still.
Sorry, guys.
Even still.
4 lines. That's yeah. That's. I mean, if distribution would even across 4 lines.
Yeah.
I mean that's still barely above average.
Yeah.
For ice time. May not think it's fair. I'm going to knock Rash for the ice time and give it to Johansson.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Mckenzie is the center. You're right. That was my bad.
Alrighty. The winner of the Brody Witzel Trophy for playoff MVP goes to Jonas Johansson. Congratulations. Really the clear favorite here. Just with how well he performed in those 13 games, just absolutely insane.
To win 12 out of 13 games in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. With 2 shutouts and just over 1.5 goals against a game, like average. That's just brutally efficient.
Yeah, I mean that's like Carey Price last season.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Carried him to a cup.
Yep.
Congratulations, well deserved.
Alrighty. We're looking at our Ideen Fala Trophy, which is the award committee MVP. This is So instead of the league voting on it, this is our award committee members voting on the MVP of the season. We've got some recognizable names here: Lev Mcdavid, Vincent Fox, and Willie Miller. And I apparently forgot to put Vincent Fox's team in there. He plays for Carolina, though. We've talked about these guys extensively, all of them tonight. Who do you think is going to take this one home?
So I don't think it's Willie Miller. Because Willie is a goalie.
And those are the wrong stats for him anyway, so...
I would say those are skater stats, and Willie's
those
a
are
goalie.
skater stats, and his his stats were just on the previous few screens ago, so you can go back and look at those. I definitely didn't make this presentation like 45 minutes prior to going live. I don't know what you're talking about.
And also, for the record, Fox is on Carolina.
Yep, Fox is on Carolina. Lev plays for Vancouver. Willie plays for Nevada and is a goalie, not a skater. Apologies for all of these mistakes. However, the winner is still correct.
Yeah, it's Lev.
That's what matters.
It is 25 more points than anyone else, and then also was not an absolute liability on defensively.
Yeah.
Yeah, 25-point lead. You cannot overcome that, even if you fucking play every minute and you just pitch a shutout every game as a goalie. It's still going to go to the guy with the 25-point lead.
Yeah, no, and it's hard to argue against that. So our winner this season is, no surprise, Lev Mcdavid. Even though it's the wrong stats and the wrong team, you're still our winner. Congratulations on winning the Ideen Fala Trophy this season. Just an incredible season. So, yes, chat, I know that I messed up. It is what it is. I hang my head in shame.
Hey, despite the $2 million we're paid for this, we're not professionals.
That's right. That's right. And I think that's the end of our presentation. Congratulations to all the winners and all of the nominees. Jert, do you have something to say?
I do. I want to say I struck a deal with Namlet and the guys from Newfoundland earlier, as some of you may know. In the off-season, one of my friends and coworkers and players on Regina passed away in a car accident. And the GoFundMe link is still in his memorial post on the forums. And I struck a deal with Newfoundland saying for every $10 they would give, I would say how great they are on stream once for every $10, right? Assuming they go ahead and all pitch in $2 to $5 and make up an amount of about $40. But these guys actually raised over $150 for the GoFundMe. So that's why I've been all over the stream saying how the Newfoundland Berserkers are great. The Newfoundland Berserkers are exceptional, and the Newfoundland Berserkers are truly amazing. And those were the last three. And I have a 0.5 left because it's 155. So I'll end this by saying NL good.
NL good, that's right. And I want to take this opportunity to also say that this is my last season as your host and presenter of the SMJHL Awards. It's been awesome having the opportunity to do this presentation. If you are interested in doing this job, it's very easy. Just put together a slideshow. You have all the slides put together already. And you get to, if Trash A is willing to stay on as co-host, you have an excellent co-host all set and ready to go.
Detractor, actually. No, that's not a selling point.
Well, look for that job posting here in the next few weeks. We will be looking for a new host and presenter for the
No, I'm staying on. I'm still host.
That's right. Well,
yeah,
unless you want to do it all by yourself, which I won't say you can't, but it's always more fun with someone else. So
yeah. But thank you guys very much, and thank you, Smith. I think this is our 4th season doing it together.
I think that's right.
It's been awesome, and I appreciate it. So thank you very much, my friend.
Yeah, and once again, congratulations to all of our winners and our nominees this season. Have a great upcoming season 63, everyone.
Yep, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.